Good day, everyone. Welcome to first Agile Leadership Learning Session from Agility Academy. Hope everyone is doing well, and wish you good luck for New Year and your Agile uh, journey. So today we are going to talk about quite interesting topic: how to lead teams to excellence with Disciplined Agile. Quite often we have worked at different levels, dealt with different type of personalities, different type of team dynamics, and there's a $1 million question: how can you take team from where they are to the stage where they can deliver excellent outcome? And that's something which we are going to explore in today's session. So let's quickly dig in. While we go through this, we are live on LinkedIn as well as YouTube. If you are watching this video live, I would appreciate if you just say hi and introduce yourself. Even if you are going to watch it as a recorded session afterward, I would love to know if you have got any feedback or got any questions with regard to this topic, and we'll be more than happy to support you in journey by answering all those questions. So, agenda for today is all about team development for high performance, emotional intelligence, social skills. If you want to create a high performing team, what we need to do in addition to providing right kind of support, tactical scaling in complex situations, coordinating and collaborating across teams, conflict management. People tend to avoid conflicts, people tend to suppress conflict, but today we are going to explore what need to be done if you want to create a high performing team. And in that context, what strategy you should adopt when it comes to having that conflict as a tool, as a way to create a healthy environment. Then, towards the end, we are going to look into two aspects. First one is a pragmatic planning for agile teams, and what kind of metrics, what kind of reports you should look for, and you should actually create in order to create a culture of continuous improvement and high performance. We'll wrap up this session, 30-minute sessions, with quick tips and tricks about learning opportunities, how you can accelerate your learning in this particular domain through formal, informal ways. And there's something interesting, something surprising thing which I have got at towards end. So there we are going to offer scholarship to first few participants who are going to come back with any queries, and that is something which we want to announce towards end. So let's quickly dig in with regard to what need to be done to create excellence or deliver excellent outcome to team. So when you talk about team, you don't need to go any further. If you just look into dictionary, this is definition from Cambridge Dictionary. So team is nothing but number of people who are together as a group to do something. Okay, so and that's a noun. If you talk about action work, then team is nothing but to act together to achieve something. So always there's a goal, there's a need to work together to achieve that goal. When we look at high performance is nothing but having ability to operate at a high speed, at a high standard, delivering excellent outcome. So high performance team has got these two aspects where they are working towards a common goal, always working together as a single unit. And while doing that, they are setting high standards for themselves, and they are delivering excellent outcome at a high speed. Now, how do you create that high performance team? How do you create that excellence within a team? So as a leader, doesn't matter what's your title in your organization, you need to wear different hats. And again, those hats needs to be put on based on the stages of this team development. Usually teams are formed when team members don't know each other, they are not sure about how to work with each other. That's why as a leader, you need to educate them. Your title might be Scrum Master, Agile Coach, your title might be team manager, team leader, project manager, whatever. But your stance at this point in time when teams are forming is to educate them with regard to how we are going to work together, why we are together, and what we are looking for. So what's that North Star? After that, when team members are going through the storming phase, when team members are not gelling well together, they are not sure what to do, what not, that is the stage where you need to act as a expert and show them how things needs to be done. Guide them, show them through practical examples by rolling up your sleeves how things needs to be done, and ensure that during this storming phase your presence is felt by everyone, you are there to support everyone. Next stage is norming. So norming is where okay, this is person who prefer to work up early in the morning. This kind of person doesn't like to talk much, but he has got a creative brain. So if you go with any problem, he will help you to brainstorm. So during norming phase, you know the boundaries, you know the strengths and weaknesses and style of working by each and every team member. So you that dust has settled, storm has settled, and now you know how to work with each other. That's where you might want to act as a mentor and provide mentorship to those team members who are looking for your guidance. Next stage is performing, and that's what we call stage when team members are pushing their boundaries. That's where you might want to provide them support while they are going in unknown territory, when they are challenging themselves, they are explaining new business domain, they are explaining new technology domain, they are getting out of their comfort zone and doing something new. So during performing stage, you want to ensure that you are providing right kind of environment in terms of providing opportunity where they can hone their skills, master their skills, learn new skills, providing right kind of environment when their autonomy and their willingness to experiment is supported. So that's what you need to do during team development phases as a agile leader if you want team to reach a stage which is high performance. Agiling is the last stage which is mentioned in this Tuckman's model, team development model, which is when team members have been together for a fair amount of time, deliver that particular goal, that team gets dissolved. One interesting fact: you not always go through this cycle, or probably sometimes you can fast track through this cycle, and that is something which is explored and explained in Disciplined Agile Senior Scrum Master course. So we are going to talk about that towards the end of this session. But that's pretty much what you need to do as a leader if you want to support team from scratch, right from the moment they have been formed till they reach that high performing stage, and ensure that they stay there for a longer period of time. Now, having just business knowledge, domain knowledge, technology knowledge is not enough. And that's why, in a recent research, it has been found that if you want to become a excellent leader, if you want to create a high performing team, you need to have an emotional intelligence. So what is emotional intelligence? So if you go back to the roots and a lot of material which is available in the market, one book which stand out, which is Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman, which you can see on the screen. In this book, what Daniel has suggested that you need, when it comes to creating those social skills and emotional intelligence, it's quite important to look at two angles: self and others. And when we talk about self, it's all about understanding what I know about myself, having that self-awareness. Do I tend to give answers? Do I tend to run away from conflicting situations? Do I talk too much? Doesn't provide opportunity for others to contribute. And after having that awareness, next stage is self-management. Sometimes we call self-mastery as well, where consciously you think before you respond, and you apply your emotional intelligence in a circumstances in a such a way that better outcome is achieved rather than just reacting. So that's all about knowing yourself and mastering yourself. Another aspect of emotional intelligence is knowing what's happening around you. So social awareness about others, about your organization, about your team members, about your program or group where you are currently working. And then after knowing what are the team dynamics, what kind of personalities are there, what kind of processes, challenges which are faced by this team outside of your remit of influence, what you do, you use that knowledge to create relations. So you spend a lot of time to build that healthy relationship, which is based on trust, based on partnership rather than transaction, and leverage that to support your team and support organization per se to reach next stage of high performance stage. So these are the few things which you need to be aware. In this 30 minutes, we won't be able to cover everything, but this is another aspect which is quite crucial for leading a team to excellence. Next thing is conflict management. I know conflict management per se has got quite a lot of negative connotation, and no one likes conflict. But there's a different angle which is taken by Thomas and Kilman in their model which they have presented. So Thomas Kilman model talks about what are different stages or what are different ways through which you can tackle conflict. The best approach to create a high performance team is use conflict as a healthy mean to get a better outcome. And that can happen only when you ensure that team members collaborate. multiple teams collaborate to deliver better outcome, achieve that goal by having strong relationship. Quite often people try to or tend to take the middle path and do compromise, and compromise is not always best thing or best outcome. So as a leader, if you want to create a high performing team, and even if there is a conflict between two team members, which quite often happens during a storming stage, or sometimes it might happen at any stage, you need to ensure that by putting the lens of what is our goal, why we are here together, what is supposed to be achieved, uh, gain collective perspective, and then have collaborative approach through which you can come to conclusion what needs to be done. So collaborating is the best approach, which is suggested as per Thomas Kilman's conflict management model when it comes to creating high performance teams. And there is this report. You can find more details by referring it. Now let's go back to Discipline Agile. Discipline Agile is quite unique, wherein the approach which is taken by PMI Discipline Agile body of knowledge is that we should be framework agnostic. We should understand the wider context, larger problem, complex environment in which teams operate, and only then you'll be able to tackle several challenges which are faced by team throughout their journey till the stage they reach high performance stage, and even after that when they face different challenges to stay there. So what Discipline Agile has suggested is that you can use this tactical scaling model, wherein whenever you are dealing with any situation, whenever you are forming a team, in fact, you can look at all those parameters which are listed here. What type of team size we are looking for? Is it a team member team, or we are talking about a wider group where you need more than 250 team members? Uh, when it comes to team members' presence, are they physically present in the same building at the same on the same floor, or they are distributed across globe? So there might be challenges in terms of collaborating, coordinating work if there are different time zones. How's the organizational distribution? Do we have everyone who is part of the same organization, or we have got some partners, some people who are contracting, some people coming from vendor or supply company? And when it comes to delivering outcome, is that skill readily available, or do we need to explore market outside of current organization to hire new talent? Compliance, solution complexity, domain complexity. So in the environment where they are currently working, uh, how complex is that domain? Is that something straightforward, or even if they are working on a technology solution, is it a technically challenging solution? Is it something which is standalone or legacy platform? So all those aspects help you to understand the context of the team, and in which an environment in which this team need to work. If you are anywhere near this center of the spider diagram, then probably you have got less overhead, less challenges when it comes to delivering outcome. If you are farther away, if you have got team members who are global, geographically distributed, then probably you will not have enough time to collaborate because of the time zone difference. It might be just 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. So you will need different strategy. So having understanding of this context is quite important, and only when you know in which environment team members are working, what kind of challenges they are facing, what kind of skills they are bringing to the table, what is the cultural background if they are working from multiple organizations, it helps a lot to lead them more efficiently. Now, when we look at different aspects of leading team, you need to consider different strategies when it comes to coordinating and collaborating across teams. Not always you'll be working independently within a one team. Your team might be interacting with someone who is not part of your program, or might be part of another organization, or sometimes part of different business unit, and they might be following different strategies, different ways of working. Discipline Agile provide goal-based approach. So it states that first of all, identify what goal you want to achieve. So here we want to create a high-performing team, and based on the complexity of the problem, based on the geographical distribution, what we need to do, how we can effectively coordinate different activities. So that's the goal. What are the decision points? We need to understand, okay, how are we going to coordinate within team? Is it daily stand-up, scrum of scrum? How are we going to share information? Is that through formal reviews, informal reviews? What kind of coordination activities need to be done across program? Is it something like scrum of scrum meetings, big room planning session, so on and so forth? So it provides you toolkit using which you can decide what kind of option you want to follow. And for each of those options which are listed here, there is a trade-off. It provides list of pros and cons for each of those options. So that's how you can use Discipline Agile Toolkit to create a high-performing team who can deliver better outcome. Next thing is you need to understand how do you plan work. So agile doesn't mean that no planning. Okay, so it all depends on what kind of details we are looking for, at what stage of the entire life cycle we are doing that planning. Now, when you are looking to create a high performing team, you need to ensure that you explore everything which is going to serve purpose, which will be fit for the purpose for those teams. So you might decide for those particular teams or team of teams or program to do rolling wave planning, wherein when it comes to understanding what we are going to deliver after a year or two, might be more high level. Okay, so there might be just high level milestones which we are trying to achieve. When it comes to understanding what needs to be delivered within a quarter, within 3 months, you might have a bit more details when you will say that, okay, at the end of every fortnight, at the end of every sprint, this is what we are planning to achieve. And then you will have more detailed view when it comes to sprint planning, iteration planning, or your fortnightly plan, where you will say that, okay, in these 2 weeks, we are going to achieve so and so. And then there's another level of planning, which is daily planning, where together as a team, you might come at the start of day, middle of day, wherever it makes sense, and understand where we want to focus our energy today, what need to be done, how we can help everyone to achieve those outcomes with the right intent, by supporting each other, by removing those blockers. Cool. I can see there's a question from Jyoti. Hi, Jyoti. Question is, what's the difference between just-in-time modeling and just-in-time planning? So the key difference is that when we talk about modeling, it is all about understanding how we can tackle that issue, what type of prototype we need to use, what type of wireframes or what type of approaches, tactical, strategic approaches we want to use. It's more about different approaches. Okay, so that will help you to define solution. So modeling is all about solution design, whereas just-in-time planning is planning wherein you have come across some challenges. Let's say while you are working on particular area, you encounter certain issue or certain unknown thing. Now you might want to take everyone together in a single room or a couple of experts and brainstorm how we can tackle that. Do we need to come up with some spikes or proof of concept or run some experiment, do customer research before we go and explore further? So key distinction between modeling and planning is that modeling is all about coming up with a solution. Planning is all about deciding what next steps we want to do and in which order and when. Just in time says that it's not done proactively, it's not set cadence, it's not a fortnightly iteration planning or release planning meeting. It is done as and when there is a need. So that's the key difference. Cool. So thanks, Jyoti, for asking that question. If you are listening it live or even if you are going to listen it afterward, feel free to pop up questions with regard to this topic. I'll be more than happy to help. So that's about planning. Now, next thing is reporting and metrics. Quite often we see that a lot of team members don't like producing those reports, or sometimes you get stuck in a situation where you are creating report for something which was delivered in, let's say, November 2021, right? And by the time that report is consumed, probably a couple of months have already gone. So even if you raise something, no one is going to make any difference by providing support, because things might have changed by the time that those reports are used. Same thing applies to metrics. Who love to have metric which is based on number of hours spent in office to measure productivity, or who would love to have metrics which talks about how many story points you have delivered? If you come from agile background, how many story points you have delivered, and is that story point graph going up compared to one team compared to another team without understanding the context? So it's quite important if you want to have right kind of behaviors, if you want to motivate team, if you want to get best out of team members, make them productive, make them happy, engaged, you should think about right measurement strategy. You should think about how that data is going to use and how team members are going to be treated based on those outcomes. So Disciplined Agile has got different approaches. It comes with certain universal metrics, certain standards, and a few guidelines. So this is another process goal through which you can understand if you want to come up with the metrics, how you are going to, what kind of measurement you want to focus on. Is it outcome, output, or input? Uh, what is the strategy? Is this something where OKRs, objective key results, have been set by senior management, and we want everyone to be aligned to that? Or is that something to do with goal question metric, wherein team members decide what goal they want to achieve, and based on that they take actions, and then they come up with their own ways of measuring outcome? Is that metric going to be pull or push? Are we expecting someone to generate those reports and populate that information? So there are different ways through which you can organize metrics. Again, if you are starting new and you are not sure, uh, anything which is highlighted in bold is a good starting point. Even if you are in an organization or at a team level, you are following popular metric, you might want to eventually move towards up as per this arrow to gain better benefits. So you can use metrics, you can use different type of reporting to ensure right kind of behavior. So that's about leveraging metrics and reporting to get better outcome, supporting team, making them productive. So that's a goal-based approach from Disciplined Agile when it comes to supporting teams, creating teams. Everything which we have seen so far is covered in today, formal certification training course, which is called as Disciplined Agile Senior Scrum Master. Typically, in this course, even though title is Senior Scrum Master, it's suitable for anyone who is a Agile practitioner. And if I have got authority to rename this course, I might call it Senior Agile Leader rather than Scrum Master, because you go beyond Scrum, you go beyond one particular framework and explore everything: emotional intelligence, conflict management, collaborating across teams, agile reporting, agile planning, so on and so forth. So that's a two-day course. It's a foundational course for those who want to go and explore expert level courses like Discipline Agile Coach and Discipline Agile Value Stream Consultant course. Typically, these two roles are more at transformational or organizational level or enterprise level. This role is more at a program level where you are dealing with multiple teams. So that's the journey in terms of agility from the Discipline Agile. Discipline Agile Scrum Master. If you are new to Agile, you have got zero experience working in Agile environment, you don't know what Scrum is, you don't know what stand-up is, then that is the good starting point to explore that. But if you are already CSM, PSM, or even if you have spent a couple of years working in an Agile team or Agile environment, probably Discipline Agile Senior Scrum Master is a good starting point. So that's about the journey. So there are a couple of opportunities coming up from Agility Academy, wherein you can do deep dive, you can learn all those things which we have explored in the last 20-25 minutes across 2 days through hands-on activities, through interactive activities, as well as looking at the case study. One course is happening over this weekend, 8th and 9th of Jan. We have got participants across globe from US, UK, Singapore, Australia, so on and so forth. And then there's a next course, which is happening mid next month. Uh, Here is a registration link. I'll post that in chat as well, or comment section as well. There's a QR code. If you want to scan this QR code and go and enroll, you can do that. So that's about taking next step towards exploring Discipline Agile Toolkit to create and lead high-performing teams and taking teams to the excellence by through context-driven, customized, fit for the purpose approach for the agility. Now, beyond that, and this is what I always suggest to everyone, if you want to learn more and become a lifelong learner, you should always leverage formal learning channels like certification courses, which I have taught just recently. Agility Academy offers courses from PMI Discipline Agile, Scale Agile, Enterprise Agility University. You can find more details by scanning QR code or visiting agilityacademy.com.au. That's one thing, and that's a really good thing to do if you don't want to spend reading books. Like every book takes, my experience, around 5 to 8 hours just to go through it in detail. So every course help you understand core concepts from around half a dozen to dozen books within a couple of days. So it sets you for the success. Next thing is talk with someone who is agile expert, who is a practitioner, who is working in the industry since long time, and request that person to act as your mentor. Uh, there are several people whom I'm currently mentoring. If you are curious, keen to know where you should go next, whether you should start exploring one area of agility or another, feel free to reach out to me. I'll share my details shortly. I'll be more than happy to mentor you and help you in your journey. And then you can, I can see Marco is saying, thanks, nice sneak preview. Thanks, Marco, for joining this live session. I hope you enjoyed. So after next stage is that networking, being part of agile learning groups. So we have got Agility Academy learning group, when around 100 people across the world collaborating together on a WhatsApp group. If you are interested, just reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you join that group. And if you're working in your organization, even if you're not playing agile leadership role or agile role, even if you're a manager or leader, uh, best thing is to shadow or pair up with someone else who is actually working in agile environment. Observe, see how things are going, and that is how you can learn by looking at others how they perform. Another one is go deep by reading lean agile books. I'm big fan of reading books. I know it's a traditional ways of gaining knowledge, but if you're going through something and you're curious to explore more, nothing better than searching about that author, that book, buying that, spending $15-20 to buy that book and read it. That is how you will gain deep understanding. That is how you will understand what is the crux. I'll suggest to invest your time in reading books. This is the start of year. Probably reading one book per month will will help you to gain knowledge which is there in 12 books over over this year. So that can be another approach. And if you don't have time, or if you are not curious to read books but you want to still know a bit more, you can always look for videos on YouTube or listen to podcasts by those authors, or attend LinkedIn or YouTube live sessions like this one. Hi, Luke. Thanks for joining, mate. I hope you found this session quite useful. Good to have you here. So that's about it. That's what we have got for today. So these are my details. I'm available on WhatsApp, Telegram. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. So you can see my phone number here. You can text me, call me, or WhatsApp or Telegram me on this number. Uh, there's a link for Agility Academy, where you can find different course offerings. And yeah, that's it for today. I really enjoy sharing my sessions. Uh, I intend to have at least a couple of sessions every month in this year, and that's my commitment towards community. And hopefully, either next week or week after, we are going to have next session, which is all about social agility. So, how to enhance social agility, we at the team level, at a leadership level, at an organizational program level, by leveraging different advanced tools and techniques which are there in Enterprise Agility University. So that's something which we are going to explore either next week or week after. So stay tuned. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Subscribe to Agility Academy LinkedIn page to know more. That's all for today. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and see you next time.